Hey everybody, welcome back to BookishDaddy. You saw the thumbnail. We are going over the BloodSworn Saga. All three books. I just finished them and I could not wait to do this video. But I had to wait a little bit. So I am sorry for the hiatus. We went on vacation to Disney World and it was a freaking blast. But I'm back now. I can post a video. Dude, speaking of Disney, I would love to know if you've been, what your favorite park is. Because a lot of people were telling us we had to prioritize Magic Kingdom and then Hollywood Studios and Epcot last. And dude, Epcot was like by far our favorite park, going to all the different cities or countries and trying all the different like drinks and foods. And I know that's like more up my alley, especially like Norway and Japan is where I spent the whole day. But I'd be curious to know like your thoughts and if that's kind of like if you were to go or if you've been, what your favorite parks are. Uh, yeah, dude, thank you all for watching and being patient with me while I was gone. We'll get into this. So, BloodSworn Saga by John Gwynne. The first book is Shadow of the Gods. Next is Hunger of the Gods. And finally, The Fury of the Gods. Should you read these? It's a resounding yes. I'll go ahead and go over my ratings. I rated this one 5 stars, this one 6 stars, and if even possible, 7 stars. The best book I've ever read. Best trilogy I have ever read. And as of right now, my top reads of all time. This beat out Mistborn. I've always, when I do these lists of top 10 of all times, I'll go ahead and let you know. If you haven't seen the videos, Mistborn has always come in at number 1. Maybe Legend of Dritz. Sometimes if I'm like going way back, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. This is my new favorite series. I absolutely loved this. And it may be a little biased because I am a huge fan of like Vikings and Viking shows and everything that deals with like just the shield walls and axes and everything like that. This had me wanting to dress like a Viking. Freaking, I was Googling John Gwynne and where he does shield wall reenactments over by Wells and like seeing how much it would cost. Like, I am just obsessed with these books and his writing. To get into it a little bit, this is about, we'll start with book 1. And this will be spoiler free. I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler free as possible. We're following a few different POVs of a bunch of different mindset Vikings, 2 female, 2 male, and kind of like their place in the world, their different personalities, and the gods, it seems like, have already fought in Ragnarok and have fallen, and so they're kind of like, Vikings tell sing their songs of like the gods and the Vikings who fought them and all of this. And along the way, some seer witches find a way to like resurrect a god. And now all these Vikings have found themselves thrust into an actual saga tale. And it is freaking beautifully written. If you like high fantasy, violence, and just beautiful fantasy worlds and awesome fight scenes, these are the books for you. One of the things I loved most about this is I was getting sick of, so I love books like ACOTAR and romance and dark romance and romantasy. Romantasy is probably my favorite genre. But I was kind of getting sick of authors. Every female in every book was like voluptuous, sexualized, and everything about their features or who they were as a person kind of like just pointed to like their physical appearance. Dude, in this, there is no spice. Every female is like a 6'2", 200-pound muscular behemoth. Like, you picture like shield maidens. The main character in this is like just so awesome. She's got like the big dual-headed axe, bearded axe. She's cutting people to pieces, ripping people apart. She's towering over the men. The other female in this kind of steers towards sword and shield, But same thing, she takes no crap from no one. She doesn't need anyone to protect her or help her. All these women in these books, and this is a huge series, all these pages, there was no filth. It was just pure violence and vengeance and blood oaths, and it was freaking awesome. The fight scenes and shield walls in this were depicted beautifully. It almost felt like you were in the shield wall, freaking throwing your spear over the top, stabbing people. It was epic, and it's been a long time since I have read a book that had an atmosphere that like threw you into the battle scenes. R.A. Salvatore was really good about that. Back when I was like reading his books, The Legend of Dritz, he was very good at describing the fighting scenes, everything from the detail of the footwork to like who's getting hit or nicked, or the scenery around them while they're fighting. Dude, John Gwynne crushed it. The the fights in this, whether it was swords or axes, or even like he created a bunch of creatures for these books. Because I mean, you've got gods in it. It's a fantasy, so you've got these creatures that are like claws and jaws and just ripping people apart, and it's just the fight scenes with these creatures and out in the ocean. Like there's battle scenes with boats where they're all like all these Viking ships are crashing. Dude, it was crazy. And what my favorite thing is, like, I started reading book one. I went into it wanting to read it because I love Vikings. A little nervous because it is a huge book and I knew it was a huge series. I could not put this book down. And I had to immediately get into book two and then book three. And as y'all have seen, I didn't get much reading done this past month because of these. And I do not regret it. It was the best series ever. It wrapped up beautifully. I don't know what else to say about it. If you were looking for a series that like focuses on vengeance, fighting, grit, and just like main characters that are all, whether they're female or male, they are just like awesome. This is the series. To more to that point, when I got to book two, I didn't know where he could go from book one that would make it like stand out. We start to get some of the villains' point of views, and even like a coward's point of view, which sounds weird, but it was so awesome to like get the point of view of someone who, like, at a time where everyone's a Viking, who is just like these big, muscly behemoths living off the land. The females and males are all like, everyone is just, it's a fight on site. Like it's just go, 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 go. Everybody is just like awesome. They're ripping animals apart with their bare hands. Like it's interesting to throw not only a coward into the mix, but to get his point of view on life and like how he's surviving and what he's doing. And then to get a villain's point of view was even better. Like this is someone from book one that you're like rooting against, and you get to book two and now you're like seeing his perspective, what he wants from life, how he's getting by in the world, why he's doing the things he's doing. Dude, it was beautiful. I freaking love the second book even more than the first book. uh and then we get to the third book, Fury of the Gods, and the pacing in this was just phenomenal. Like the pacing in these books from beginning page to end page of each book was just like, it's on go, but even when there is like some sort of like a lull in a fight, it's filled with like good conversation, good scenery, uh perfect timing on swapping POVs. Which brings me to another point. It is so rare that I have read a book or a series where I'm not like dreading a single POV. Like sometimes if you have 4 or 5 different people, it'll get to one and I'm like, oh, come on, let me get through this guy's chapter so that I can get to the person I love most. We have a total of like 6 point of views throughout this. I loved all of them. every single point of view, I was like, holy cow, how is this written so awesome? Like, all their stories were epic. They all had different like mindsets and reasoning and just completely different personalities and fighting styles and what they were trying to accomplish in this war of gods. Like, every single person and everything just tied in together throughout these 3 books so awesomely. Like, hands down, one of the best series I've ever read in my life. It was so much fun. But we get to the 3rd book, and the biggest downside to this series is that it ended. I mean, and it ended beautifully, but I've never really been in a reading slump before. I finished this, I think, 3 weeks ago, so like right before our vacation, and I don't know what to read. Like, I have some things in the works, but I don't know what to read next I'm not gonna judge the crap out of this book I pick up because this is what it has to like live up to. And dude, it is just so awesome. There's no, if you dislike it, I'm very disappointed in you. No, everyone has different taste. I love Vikings. What's weird is there's books by like Joe Abercrombie that like get, I wouldn't even say too detailed. They just focus on the gore. There's gore throughout because it is Vikings, it's battles, it's epic fantasy, but it's not, the gore isn't like focused on, like it's happening, but it's, kill someone or hit someone and you're on to the next. uh and it doesn't like describe the scene like in too much detail. It's just detailed perfectly. And the characters in this, their personalities, the way, so you've got one that is focused on family and escaping being like a warrior and wanting to settle down, but keeps getting dragged back into battle. You've got one that wants to uh, avenge a sibling, and they don't care about anything else. They weren't a warrior, but now they're becoming one to get vengeance. You've got the coward. You've got the villain. You've got someone that's just in their father's shadow that is aspiring to be great and become a queen or king. And just, they're all so different and so beautifully written. Each one's story was awesome and ended epically. And it is just, I had to keep reminding myself that it was a Viking story because like sometimes someone would just get like annihilated. I'd be like, holy cow, like how did that just happen? And then I remember, oh yeah, I'm reading about Vikings. It's a bloodthirsty world. So that being said, go into this knowing that characters can die off, kind of like Game of Thrones. Go into it knowing that it is extremely violent. But that is, other than that, it's world building. It is world building, character development, and just epic fight scenes. There is no spice. There was no uh, drug use or anything crazy like that. Just pure action. And it was, if you've seen the show Vikings, this would have made a better show. Like, this as a movie or a TV series would be so awesome. I wouldn't be able to stop watching it. So yeah, this as a whole, every 5 stars was the minimum I could give to one of these books. And I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, without giving you spoilers, if you have questions about this series, ask below. I would love to talk about it. I haven't shut up. Like, when we go to bookstores, I almost like post up next to them just so I can annoy people when they walk by with this series. Same with like anything anyone's like recommending as books. I'm like, there's just no way it's gonna live up to these books because they made me so happy to read. Like, every chapter, I was so excited to get to the next page or the next chapter. And I don't know how you could like read these and not thoroughly enjoy it, especially if you are a fan of fantasy or Vikings or action. It is incredible. And John Gwynne absolutely crushed it. Some of the creatures he created are just so awesome in this. and even the gods and the Vikings, and it was awesome. And now I'm rambling, but like I said, I haven't shut up about this series to anyone that'll listen. So if you have questions about it, ask below. If you've read this, I would love to know your ratings. If you gave one of these less than three stars or less, don't tell me, please, because it'll just be very disappointing to me and upset me, because I am obsessed with these books right now and I have no clue what I'm gonna read next. If you have a suggestion too that you think I would enjoy as much as this series, you've read this and you're like, look, you have to read this because it's similar or just as good or somehow better, please let me know. I need some recommendations right now. I've never been in this type of like reading slump before. Uh, yeah, that's the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I've got some things in the work. Again, I apologize for taking like a 7 to 10 day hiatus or break, vacation, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that's the video, and I hope you all enjoy it.